County.
I haven't heard anything about him. He's down around the motor.
Sharon Cranfield,
Yes.
Dan Fountain, Shad Frank, I know that one. Kennedy Gray. Here. William Greer. Randall.
It's Susan and I'm here, thank you.
Susan, I will butcher that name.
Here, and that'll be fine.
Ron Jarman is not here. Art Kirkland here. Brian Altman. He looks to be Wayne County. John King is here. Bob McCoy. Sarah Mitchell.
Here.
All right. Raul.
We have a few from Wayne County that are at the state house. He and Jeff Monster.
Okay, and Jeff's the next one. Mary Richardson, I saw. Jerry Saunders. There. Steve Shoemaker. We're gonna put him on the Randolph question mark list. Amy Smith. Rex Snyder. Steve Sorrell. Sorrell. Okay. Dennis Spade. Dale Strong. All right, I thought so good. Jared Bolton. Here. Dan Wanderson. Gertrude Ritter. Here. Miss Williams.
Yeah.
Tim Williams.
He's not here.
Jeff Wilson is here. Richard Dean Van Wood.
He's not here.
Carol Ann is here. Greg York is not here. So that is roll call. Any new members here who would like to introduce themselves and haven't been here before?
I'm Sharon Cranfield, and I'm the president of the Fayette County Council, and I'm a new member.
Okay.
So thank you for having me.
Wilson.
Gary Saunders, taking Beth Booter's place in Wayne County Council.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Okay. We're gonna do, I'm gonna kind of change it, well, I want these other things. You should have gotten a copy of the minutes of the meeting, the last meeting. If we can.
Seven.
I have a motion.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. John McCain made the motion and.
Shannon.
You can't make a motion for last meeting. Be present to approve the minutes.
Financial report, Mary Richardson.
Okay, I've just got a couple of things to note. If you look at your report, the title is for quarter ending December 2025. I'd just like to note that under the revenue, under the EDA grant, we have not received any money there. So the 2024 and 2025 revenue is actually the NDOT money that was received. And those amounts are both offset, and the expenses under 2024 is shown as the EDA partner expense, which is actually NDOT. And then in 2025, it's shown as a contractual entry, $6,049.19. So those all offset each other. They're just not labeled correctly. So just to clarify that. And just to note that under the salaries, there was just the first quarter assistant director salary, and that was from the transition that we had. So that's all I have to note there. On the form that is the actual versus budget, really nothing there, just to note that we've been very conservative. Basically, we've been under budget for everything except a slight overage in miscellaneous. So 2025, I think was, a very good year, for this group. And I don't have any comments to make, just if you have any questions, we'll ask Mike.
Does
So if
anybody,
you're comfortable in passing the financial report? If so, I'll entertain the motion.
I'll make that motion.
Carol makes the motion.
So,
Can I get a second? Brad. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Before we go to old business, this is something the director's gonna get used to. We're gonna go off track a little bit here in the fact that I'm gonna introduce myself. I'm Mike Beatty. I'm the mayor for the city of Rushville. And have sat or been a member of this organization for 14 years, something like that.
you got it organized.
I did, well, we survived a collapse and rebuilt it. And I think it's important because I've been involved in it for a long, long time, and sometimes it gets confusing to me to look around the room and try to just simply, and from a very, very basic 101, what is our role at this board? What do we do? Gertrude, did you tell?
Yes, the purpose of the Eastern Indiana Planning Commission is to help support the 6 county members that are part of this group with their comprehensive plans and to gather funding through the federal government, which is the legal vehicle through which federal funding is given to our counties.
So she's got it exactly right. She is very, very much perfect. But a lot of people, it gets confusing. The reason it gets confusing, and I wrote this on the way over here, this is the Eastern Indiana Regional Planning Commission. So its responsibility's got Rush, Henry, Wayne, Fayette, and Randolph, kind of a mystery right now, really, honestly. For the most part, it's pushed by the federal government, and the federal government puts us in a position to plan as a region. Kind of tough to do, but that's our responsibility, is to plan. It gets confusing because, like for Rush County, we are in ARI, which is a ready region, which is a new thing, and a RDA region, which is your Regional Development Authority, which is more state. But they're more the people who do the things we tell needs to happen. So we come up with this plan, we put it in a book that says, and we say, here's what our counties want and where they need to go. And then it kind of falls to that next platform for them to go out and make things happen. So it gets confusing. And some of us are in the same ready regions, some of us aren't. Some of us are in the same RDAs, some of us not, for the most part. And then it's gonna get ultra confusing here in a minute. So you've got Forge ECI, that's a regional market. That's not planning, that's not any of the doing, it's just how we market our area. And again, different counties. I-74 is kind of marketing for those communities that live along I-74. And then you got the whole new other world, which is workforce. So all of us kind of weirdly overlap and play different roles, and it gets super confusing, even for those people who have served in the director's position, or those people who have been here for 14 years, and you think, what are we doing? Why are we doing that? Okay. Why are they here? Okay, they're in that region, but they're not in that one. So it does get super confusing, and I think it's important to understand the basics. So when you come to these meetings, just kind of understand the basics of, we're here to make sure that our plan, that our community is represented in that bigger plan, and that the region understands what we're doing and what we're not doing. And that's nothing more than just good communication advice, and make sure, like when people say, well, I'm not really worried about SEDS, why do I care? Well, SEDS is that Bible that gets handed around by the federal government, and if you don't get what you need to happen in your local community in there, they're gonna open it up and say, but it's not here. Why do we support that? So it should be kind of a lit, so if Connersville wants to do something, and they passionately want to do something, they're gonna want that in their SEDS, so that when they go back to their development authority, they can say, here's my plan, it's in there, now I want you guys to start working on that plan. But if they were to apply for a grant and it's not there, they don't get to say, it's in my regional SEDS, it's in my action plan for my RDA, it's in all my different things. And I think that's important for everybody, is to make sure that there's alignment in what you want to happen to be covered where it needs to be, so that it, when the federal government picks it up, they're just looking at the checklist. Is it in their SEDS? Yes. Is it in their, yep, it's there. Is it in their local comprehensive plan? Yes. And then they say, everything's in place, it's a fundable project.
If I could interrupt, Mike, Sarah Mitchell, her work with the Wayne County Economic Development Group with the Cambridge City Industrial Park, that was, part of their efforts, seeing a need because of the business saying, hey, we're short on, water, sewage, having that expansion. It's affecting us, we're keeping our employees and where we're located,
Expanding the
and
park.
also expanding it so we can bring in. And, so at that time, we didn't have the grant writing capability, which why I'm so excited about Clara being trained over this last year, to be able to take that on. But there's a perfect example where EDA money, federal money came in, 2.1 million to help support that project that never would have been able to be applied for other than through this regional planning commission. So we have an example of where it worked in this new term of EIRPC. And, but again, your community has to actually have that plan so that it qualifies in the SEDS, as Mike said. But it's a powerful tool, but it has to be pursued by each county.
Yeah, and my hope is that you guys understand that, hey, from the county level, please bring stuff to her so that she has kind of a notebook or a master plan that says, okay, I need to remember as we update this, that these are things they want. And they not think of it. Whenever you have that meeting that says, hey, we're gonna all get together, everybody gets sidetracked and things happen in your life, and all of a sudden you leave the meeting and you go, oh, shoot, I didn't even mention that. So it doesn't have to just happen at those meetings. Let us know what's going on in your community. I would say one for us right now, and John and I talked about it on the way over, and Mary should, is if there is ever an effort to take water from Fayette County or Rush County, which has been a conversation, that should be in our sections. We should say, something we should look at and we should consider. Now, does it ever happen? I don't know. But we need to document it in the fact that it's something we feel like we should look at if it ever, the opportunity ever presents itself. So think about your community and think about those things that could happen. The other thing is, I told people when you get involved in politics and what we're doing here today, you suddenly realize that like workforce, it's completely different animal. Different people are involved, but there's workforce. And then probably to close out this topic, as the mayor and I talked about as we were sitting here eating, the new legislature has a whole new plan that says we're going to regionalize you guys. So we think we know what happens, but every time there's a change in office, those people think they know a lot better. And so today we're sitting here as this unit as we're made up. And we will continue to do the best of our ability, but understand that as the legislature is working, they are developing the governor's vision and their vision and what that looks like, and sometimes it's different. And we feel like, I guarantee you that I know there's a water program in Rush County, and Jeff knows about it. Everybody in Rush County, in fact, and I know about it, that it could happen. But I don't know that the legislature of the times will know about that. I don't understand the impact. I don't know. So mine and Frank next to me is some of the times we're goofy and we're a little inefficient, but the reality is we know our communities a lot better than somebody else's sitting on. So we're going to continue to push for that grassroots representation, and that's what we're doing. But anyway, continue to push those ideas that you see, even though they may be crazy, very visionary. push them up to her so that she can put them, at least in her notes to say, as we continue to update, I probably need to, if Wayne County doesn't show up that night, I know these projects will hear what they talk about. And so we all get those, we all communicate as well. So
When does she need that information, Bob?
I think anytime, we're gonna talk about it here in a minute as far as that update, the EDA's gonna request. But I think anytime you have something that you think, wow, that's a big concept, I would just send her an email and say, hey, by the way, and she, hopefully we'll just keep it file, so that's, hey, these are topics that we think need to be talked about, at least consensus on. Under old business, and this is, I appreciate Dan for this one. Under old business, 2026 membership dues. Okay, we're good. So Dan didn't give me his bad. I'm afraid I was collecting them. Any old business from the floor or board members? Anything that is outstanding as Dan left that's not on this agenda? Okay. Under new business, this is one that we've had conversations about in our executive meeting, which is putting this agenda together. Bank signature card resolution, as it exists today, we're gonna, obviously, our hope is, we're going to remove Dan and add Mary. That's one piece of it. The next piece down is the discussion of switching to first financial, and that's because there's first financial in every community. And instead of having to hop in cars and drive all over the place to do signature cards, we can just go to our local. It's not that anything has happened bad, it's just a situation. So first, can I get a motion and a second to remove Dan and add Mary due to Dan not being on the board and Mary leaving the new financial. So moved. A second.
Second.
Okay. Got 2 seconds. So I have a motion and a second for the signature card switch. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The next part of that, the discussion about switching the bank, does that mean with everybody's approval or?
I make a motion that we move forward with switching from First Merchants to First Financial Bank for the purpose of ease of location for our 6 county membership.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. The next one, I'm gonna cheat you. I'm gonna turn to the young lady on my right. She put my name beside it, but she knows a lot more about it, which is the creation of a SETS committee, which kind of ties into all the conversation about that.
So this is also just gonna skip ahead and add this to my director's report. The EDA, we are only like 2 documents away from having everything they say we need at this moment to get our partnership planning grant. We need a SETS committee because it has definitely changed since the first time our SETS was created. And I believe our SETS expires at the end of 2027, but we just need to form a committee, put it on paper, give it to EDA so they at least have a group of people they can say, hey, these people focus on our SETS. These people, when they come to meetings, they're the ones who are pushing, look at this, is it following what you're wanting in your communities? Are you looking towards it when you are working on projects? Because if it's in the SETS, it's gonna make it look a lot better when you're putting in applications for grants. So really, we just need a couple volunteers. They didn't give me any information on how big the board had to be. I was thinking maybe 5, 6 people. If they wanted to be on the board, want to be on the board? Cool. So.
And I would say, just from, we have talked about this, I would say an elected official in each community would be valuable, and if you could grab an economic development person from each community, that would be better. That would be valuable because they should have that chain of ideas that get you to where you need to be. I know some of the times we're taking on that weight, John, but yeah. So I will gladly volunteer from my community. Apparently John is too, so we should have, if there's a bad pattern of information coming from Rush County, it's us. And Mary, what is
I
that?
could cover beginning, Rush.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look over the plan.
I would think that Jeff would want to do it. Is that something we could follow up with you on?
Absolutely.
You both could serve.
And they're not here, so propose their name.
And this would be an as-needed meeting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now, we just need the document showing that we have a board put together to add it to our application. And then, along with the EDA stuff, we need you guys to vote and agree on sending in a resolution to them showing that we as a region are requesting that the EDA give us an EDD management change. So that means we can apply for the partnership planning grant. As soon as I turn in these last two documents, they should be sending me all the application information we need, and it'll be early so I can get a jump start on it before application even opens. So
Is that a resolution from each county that you're going to?
as of, no, just a resolution from the board itself.
Okay,
Um,
so that's something we could vote on today.
Yeah, we're gonna need someone to vote on it. Just, are you guys okay with asking the EDA to let us do an EDD management change for their partnership planning program? If anyone wants to call in that vote.
I think I have a motion.
I'll make a motion to support the resolution to allow the management change for EDA's requirements.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Is there anything else on the
I have
second?
a question. Clara, on the SEDS committee that EDA said is needed, is that have to be formally voted on, or is that understood based on the passage of this resolution?
It'll be understood based on the passage of the resolution that they put together one. The resolution itself doesn't really have anything to do with the SEDS, but they just want me to make a chart, of people's names, and that they're on the board. So who wants to, out of the people we've listed, who just wants to be the, only in writing, you actually have to do it right now, the head of this board?
And what do you have to do?
At this moment, nothing.
I was never in the army, so I stayed.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
The next one I'm going to default to Clara to is discussion and vote on the 2027 EIRPC study.
So for the people who haven't introduced themselves to you yet, I'm Clara, I'm the executive director. For the 2027 CERT with in-dot traffic counts, we don't lose any money in this, we don't make any money. What happens is we work with a third party who does all the traffic counts for us, keeps track of everything. They invoice us, but we direct that straight to in-dot. They give us the money and we give it right back to that third party. So it really doesn't hurt us at all, but we get those awesome data points and traffic counts and traffic information. And if you have any specific locations in your communities you want looked at, we can add that to the list going forward. I did just talk to them last week and they were supposed to come to this meeting, but they had something come up. I'm gonna try to set up a Zoom meeting sometime early February if people wanna, like, I'll send out an invite for it, but they wanna explain more what they're doing and get you guys more involved with it. So just wanted to bring that up and then we'll need a vote to see if everyone's okay with going forward for the next year.
I just want to make a comment, because there are some new members. That CERT report, that's uploaded to the state of Indiana's, I think it's called the MS2 database. And these are results that your county councils, your commissioners, your city commissioners, city council members, they can use these traffic counts for your future and upcoming road improvement projects. This is all done because it benefits each county and community, not just because it's another, piece of busy work we're trying to do. So all of this information after each study is completed annually, it's uploaded and available for anybody to look up, whether it's your highway superintendent, to get data from on all kinds of results. And the group that does this for us, they're very comprehensive information.
When you were here, you, back in the old days when this was solved and resurrected again, they did it by county. In other words, this year's Randolph County. Is that the case? anymore?
No, they do it all, I thought you meant, do they give you certain counties a certain amount? They do it all as a region.
Okay.
They try to give an even amount of counts, but some counties get together if they request like specific projects and some counties don't, so.
So again, there's another opportunity. You're looking, it used to be that restaurants on the counts each year because it's fed county. But now technology probably has allowed them to say, we're just gonna go set it in the different locations people want, and then we'll take the counts in and give them. So, for us, that's changed what's happening, because there's probably, we're doing an SS4H, so, and I'm guessing there's a couple of areas that are high incident areas that they would like to verify, probably. So, we'll probably get with you. But again, do you guys do interacting in local government? Where are those areas that you guys would want to know more? Consider that. Do you need anything?
I just a motion to go forward with the policy.
So you're looking for a motion to go forward with that yearly thing we do, the search study.
So moved.
Have a motion
Second.
and a second. A motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item is one that I'm going to turn over to Sharon.
Yes.
She's a rookie, just came to her first meeting and she's already got a topic. Casey's Law, this is one that Dan brought up, I don't know, a few months ago, and so if you could please.
Okay. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm Sharon Cranville again. Law is it allows family and friends to petition a court to order an individual with a substance use disorder into involuntary treatment, intervening when the person is unable to recognize their need for help. It was named after Matthew Wellington, who died of an overdose. The process involves filing a petition, undergoing evaluations by health professionals, and attending a court hearing where a judge decides on a treatment plan ranging from detox to extended programs for a specified period, with the petitioner often responsible for cost and treatment arrangements. And the purpose of this law is to help those with addiction who are too impaired to seek treatment themselves, saving lives by facilitating intervention. So I have the House of Ruth in Connersville, Indiana, and in April, I have worked with recovery for 16 years. And I have a lot of families that if you have been in the court system, you can get help. But if you have not been in the court system and you have a family member that is struggling with drug overdose, then or just using, hurting themselves, just their kids being taken away, not being able to withhold a job. So there's many different variables that goes into this. So we have in Indiana, we have a similar law, but you have to go through a lot of hoops. Kentucky and Ohio both have the Casey law in effect. Judge Freed from Connersville is helping. He is totally behind helping get this implemented, because we do work with so many families, and I get so many phone calls of where their children or even children's parents, they have no way of helping them because they don't want help. But lots of times the reason they don't want help is because they're not thinking clearly and they cannot make those kind of decisions. So what this law would do would give them help against their will. And when I say that, a lot of people say, well, you can't help people that don't want help. I have to beg to differ with you on that, because you can. I have people come to the House of Ruth kicking and screaming all the time. Don't want to be there, ain't going to do it. And they're the most successful participants in the program. So sometimes when they don't want help, it's because they're not thinking clearly enough to get help. So that's what this law is about. And when I spoke at the Kiwanis. They, Dan Parker was there, and when I was sharing this with them, because I'm trying to get it on it's not gonna make it on the floor in 2026, but, they have already talked about passing it or taking it to the floor in January of 2027. And my job now is to get the FSSA approved, to get them on board. It has to be through both houses. And then we're trying to get on the summer session this year to present it. And therefore, when we go in on January, more people will be on board with it. So that's what I'm bringing to you today. And Dan had mentioned that maybe because we have different counties here, that it would be something that counties would want to get on board to help us. Because we do need testimonials, we do need support, and we do need to show the need, which the need is not a problem to show. We have a lot of data. So, but that's what the Casey law is.
Sharon, are you looking for a letter of support from the region, or are you looking for each county to provide you with something?
I would like for each county, region would be great also, but for each county, because each county has issues. So it's something that if each county could give their documentation, or, because a lot of the people that are going to be involved with this law are not in the judicial system. They have not been arrested. They have not that has not been the intervention. So we're trying to keep people from having to go to prison and having to go to court and costing taxpayers money by getting the intervention before.
Sure, you have for lack of a better term, I think we all as elected officials all look for a boilerplate, something, whether it's a resolution, support, blah, blah, this. Do you have that to where you can, you can look at it and say, is that something that we can formally show support for?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I can make, I brought a book, I was going to try to have one to put in everyone's hands, but I will have that. I do not have it today, but I'm definitely working on that, absolutely. Yes. And Mayor Frank, he knows everything that we do, and how we work in the community. So, we've done it, like I said, we have 5 houses, a recovery center, and we opened a men's home a couple years ago. So we've been actively working in the recovery field, and families suffer. I mean, it is what it is. And when the families suffer, the community suffers. I mean, so we're trying to improve the overall results in our community. Thank you.
Is this something we need to take action on, or is this something we just wait for Sharon to send out and then once we start turning it back, if we all do support it, I think there's a reason why we're something.
Yeah, so if you want a resolution for city or county, this county, whatever. I will say this, I took a deep dive into this world of recovery to understand it. My wife's in the medical field, so we got a lot of different preconceived notions about it. I've watched many, many models. Some good, some bad. Sharon's is exemplary. Her model works better than I've ever seen in my life. And so when she comes asking for something from me, when she's talking about that, I trust everything she's saying wholeheartedly. Because she is very good at it. So I would encourage you, if you want to learn more, talk to her about it. But yeah, when she asks for something, I'll jump on board already because she's very, very good at it.
What's Sharon's last name again?
Craigville.
Thank you.
And one thing too, I never mentioned this, but, and like the mayor said, we're very proud for Fayette County that we were nominated, we received in 2022, the State Recovery Residents of the Year Award in Fayette County. So we really, we have a 70% success rate for the women that go through our program and complete it.
Well, thank you very much for making your presentation.
Thank you.
Director's report.
Alright, I'm back. So the first one is gonna be board appointment forms and conflict of interest forms. In all of your packets, there is a conflict of interest form. If you would like to fill that out, actually, you don't even have to like, fill it out and give it to me, that'd be awesome. Keep an eye out in your emails because I am gonna be sending out all of the board appointment forms, and you'll need those signed by yourself and then whoever appointed you, and those will need to be sent back in to me. Our brownfield grant that we're working on, right now we're working with Union, Fayette, and Lane on this. It's no longer going to be, a coalition grant, it's going to be a community-wide grant, so when we're working with CHA, our fee's going down from 6,500 to 5,000. It's not gonna change how we're doing anything in the grant, other than it's just gonna be EIRPC as the only lead title on it, is pretty much how it explained to me. We're gonna be doing a budget later today for it. But the only question I have for that is, they were asking if we want to put a salary into it, that money EIRPC will get from this grant. So for the time I'll be working on it, if we're wanting to budget in EIRPC getting some of that grant money, I think it would be a good idea. I'm not sure how everyone else feels about it. It does take a lot more paperwork, which I'm okay with doing. That's the only downside I really got from it when they talked about it. But just wanted to have thoughts on it. There is a limit on how much EIRPC can make. I'm not sure what that is quite yet, but I should have this all turned in by hopefully end of day Tuesday. So
Is there, what would the money, what could you EIRPC use that money for, if you decide to move forward?
so
There's guidelines or boundaries?
I'm not sure what those are, because so I'm working with CHA and they just started talking about it to me Tuesday, not yet. What's today? Yeah, they just started talking to me about it Tuesday at like 4 p.m. Like, hey, so here's some ideas for the next report. That's all they gave me.
I'd like to at least have you explore
Yeah.
more, because if this is money we can put into our budget, I think it's a good idea to accept it. If it's a matter of just paperwork and you're comfortable with taking care of that end of it, I think we should at least pursue it and see, a little more what the parameters of that grant money can be used for.
Every grant has administrative costs.
Yeah.
Right, so I don't see any reason why we shouldn't.
And I did ask if we could use part of the grant to pay off the CHA fee, and we can't, so that I do know that too, so. Our Cambridge City Water Tower project. The notes on that is right now our estimated construction start date is April 1st. Estimated finish date is April 2028. And bids should start around sometime in March. We haven't had a meeting on it since the beginning of December. I'm not sure what we're waiting on, but I do know that we're waiting probably until February to start this meeting back.
Finishing up securing the funding.
Is that what it is, securing the funding? Okay, because I know the fourth quarter report was just turned in by Jody, but other than that, it's like, okay, didn't know.
Yeah, I think we're finished. We just were able to get a couple of approvals at the end of December. So,
Because design's done, isn't it?
yes, project is on track, and then she said that 2028, but they're planning to finish September 2027. That 2028 date was just contingency. So they're moving ahead and.
Can I go back to that administrative cost? I don't see a reason why we should just go ahead and approve for you to do that going forward. Just find out what we can use it for.
That's a motion, keep that a second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please let us say aye.
Aye.
Yeah. And EDA update, pretty much already discussed, we just needed that. Oh, wait, no, one more thing. The local match, she wasn't 100% sure when I talked to our EDA rep last week on Thursday, but the local match, I think, went down, so we don't have to pay a full 50% match. It might be more around 40%, and then they come with the rest. She wasn't sure if that's how far down it went or if it went a little further, but there's a plus to have at least 40% local match. So that will help with getting the planning, hire someone to join staff, it'd be great. And that's all I have.
Open discussion. Talking at one point about they're taking of course, on the streets. I spoke with our new rep today, who said that they would pay for your tuition to do that. So the region would be responsible for travel and lodging and anything of that with it. In my recommendation that we do that, I think the group tools understand economic development work she's doing. Probably should have happened already, in my opinion. But I think that's in the best interest of this organization.
I'll second.
Have a motion, and a second, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Another just an item is probably you may, especially like in the economic development world, we're going to get bulk there to ask to put something together for the meetings, just as an education for the board. Some of the times just updating people on projects, big picture projects, but not only for our presentation, quick presentation. Here's what we're looking at, here's where our efforts are going. So they all kind of get more, a little bit knowledgeable of our region and what they're working on. Or it could be, Corey Murphy is one who kind of likes to, do programs that say, hey, here's what we do, here's why we do it, and so get back on it. So we've proven that we can get a meeting done in 5 minutes to spare. So, and I probably have a decent amount, so we put a presentation in there, and if we can get some things done, if people walk away feeling like they learn a little bit more about the region they represent, or what the region is doing. So hopefully that'll be met with your approval.
We have now all of us for 2 meetings today.
Yeah, that's true. I've been doing 2
Would it make sense that as we roll these meetings around the various counties, that if that's your county, they can, 10-minute presentation give on what's going on in your county?
Yeah, that's good.
I wanted to congratulate her on getting her certificate for the CDBG in Okra. So she is certified now. I did get an announcement on it.
Yeah, good job. Yeah, great.
I know I passed the test, I know I made it, but they never sent anything to follow up, so I've been waiting. So I'm glad someone heard.
I saw you on the official list, so you're here.
Good. I mean, I checked the list, I think it was last week, because it's still not there. It's still 2025, but now that they have the list, good, that's good.
Okay.
I'd like to bring one more thing up.
Sure.
You see, that, of course, you're gonna go to I-10, but it starts at 7 in the morning, it ends at like 5. Would it be possible if she could stay in a hotel, 1 or 2 nights, if they're in Muncie, so she's gonna spend more time driving? Like, it's a long day, it's great. Yes.
After sessions, so I.
Hang in the bars and.
Yes. Right.
When there
I
is.
was trying to be a little more tactful about it.
There is, there is a hotel right there beside the convention center, it just would make it easier, because it did start at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's really.
Do we need an action or just a consensus? Okay.
Consensus, because it's already been budgeted for those purposes.
My motion was that we do that and we pick up the travel and lodging.
Location of the next one.
So,
Yes.
Very
Oh, sorry.
And I did want to follow up on some information Mayor Pavey was talking about with the project of getting water from Connersville to Glenwood. A few days ago, I got a personal call from Congressman Shreve, and he has already got he has $1,250,000 already allocated by the Congress. and he's very confident it's gonna slip through the Senate. So we are making some headway. We need lots of pieces to bring it together, but that's a big one to get us started, so I just wanted to comment on that.
Yeah, now back to, oh, you got another?
Just a positive report from Newcastle. We started a land bank 3 years ago. And we've gone through a number of properties that the county has so graciously given us. We've gone through a number of those. We've had 5 demolitions. We've been able to take down structures that needed to come down. And we still have plenty of money in the bank. So it's worked out very well for us. And we have 3 more structures on our list to take down. We're going for 14 more properties from the county here this year, so this next one. Some positive for you.
Yeah. Help me, guys, marry you back.
And Jeff Wilson might want to comment on this too, but to follow up on that, Rush County has a $5 million grant from Lilly. And part of that is, they have purchased properties and having developers come in and redo them, and they're making headway. I mean, there's a lot more to go, but they're making a lot of headway with that, and it's making a big difference in the county.
Okay, location of the next meeting? Good. So Sinclair's gonna look. Last year we started at Rush, then went to Henry and Fayette.
Randolph.
That's Randolph, okay. And then Wayne, we did not go to Union County.
Oh, just our last meeting was at Randolph.
So do we want to do our next one in Union?
Who's here for
I'll
you?
make that motion.
Okay. So does anybody here from Union County? Okay.
We did one at Elder Park. My contact them. They were, Joe Amy runs these things.
I got 2 options, so we'll let quick fire. I should have one. We're good standards. So we will, we'll do Union County next meeting, and she'll set up the arrangements for everything. I think that's it. At this point, everything's covered on the agenda. Thank you guys for your participation. Appreciate it. And all in favor, motion to adjourn. We're adjourned. Thank you guys.